It's a big warm welcome from Cairns. Yes, we've just spent a couple of days up here in far north Queensland, where we were at Port Douglas, where we explored the reef. That was absolutely amazing. We went to the Mosman Gorge, also amazing. We even went further north, up to, well, dinosaurs. Strange, but true. And yesterday we spent it on the scenic railway just outside of Cairns. The railway being the key to this video today. So where we're going today is a train from here in Cairns all the way down to Brisbane. The Eiffel Tower, as you do Cairns. And it's in an unusual way. They're not sleeper cabins. They are rail beds, and I will explain that and show you. And in a moment you'll find me at the railway station getting on board the train from Cairns to Brisbane on Queensland Rail as we travel down on a rail bed. Now just got to figure out where we need to go, because we've got an hour to wait and I need some coffee and drinks. That's the first thing I'm going to actually be looking for, besides checking, of course. So through that window is the sneak peek of a rail bed. That is a rail bed. Let's now wait to get on board, but in the meantime I'm having a coffee, so good morning. So now it's time to jump on board the train. We're looking for coach C, which is car A and B behind me. Coach C is just up here, and we're in seat 8. A window seat by ourselves, window seat 8. Let's now jump on board. Straight away, it's nice and cool. Oh, I like this already. All right. Seat 8, 1, 5, and window 8. There we are, the rail bed. So the seat itself, nice big leather seat. Straight away, getting here, it's a little amenities kit, so we'll go through that in a bit. And a bottle of water. The seat itself is massive. Look, there's the screen. My legs are up. It's a lot of room. It's a comfy little seat. And the screen is absolutely massive, a mile away. In terms of privacy, you can see right into the other seats, the 2x2. We're in a single, so here in the rail bed area, it's a 1x2. So the seat comes with a push down tray. Push it down, relax it, throw it up, and oh, there we go. It's a nice sized tray. Look, that's going to be for meals. Sitting very upright with it. And that's the view out the window. There is the footrest down the other end, so where the emergency evacuation procedures are, and the menu. That folds down. It doesn't lock. I don't think it does. So I don't know if that locks down or not, but you can. It becomes another seat or a footrest. And I think it's a good time now to check out the amenities kit before we leave Cairns. And it is a Bubbles Organic, proudly supported by Queensland Rail Travel. That is it. Let's open it up. All right, so what do we get in here? We get a face mist. We have a face and body moisturizer. We have a lip balm, a face cleanser, and of course, a complimentary bottle of water.
Above each seat, it has overhead storage for smaller luggage, plus bedding and the complimentary towels for the shower. For the bigger luggage, you can store it in the large luggage racks at the start of each car.
So now check out the toilet facilities here on the trip. We have a unisex shower, and then baby change table and toilet, and then another one here.
We depart Cairns train station bang on time at 7:40, and within the first 20 minutes we are served a morning tea, which was a cupcake and a choice of tea or coffee. On the Spirit of Queensland, all food and drink are complimentary with the Railbed ticket, so still to come on this trip is lunch, dinner and tomorrow's breakfast. But where are we actually travelling from? Today we're travelling from far north Queensland here in Cairns all the way down to Brisbane, the capital of Queensland, which is over 1,650 kilometres south of our original location and should take approximately 25 hours. The key word there is should. The train has a cafe car separating both economy and the rail beds. It has some merchandise that you can buy for sale, plus of course the ordering of meals throughout the journey. It has got large open couches to sit and enjoy the company of other people, or just sit back and relax. The Spirit of Queensland train is equipped with an entertainment system for all cars besides G. Headphones are also supplied. However, it is a very dated system. The remote control attached to the seat, the movies and TV shows aren't that current. In the railbed section, the screens are larger compared to economy, which I'll show in a moment. The train itself isn't equipped with Wi-Fi, so travelling in outback Australia, mobile phone connectivity isn't the best either. So before jumping on board, I downloaded shows onto my own personal device and was able to watch that as the train went on. Personally, I didn't use it that much, as I preferred to watch the world go by out the huge windows.
At the seat you do get a reading light, so it's going to come in handy later tonight whilst we're travelling through in the dark, so it doesn't actually affect anyone else on the seat. So reading light, the headphone slot for the screen is just here with a USB as well. And then down by the edge of the seat is the Australian power plug. So you can plug your cables in, which is what I've been doing, to keep everything charged. So if you are travelling from overseas, you will need an Australian power point.
The railbed cars come in a 2x1 configuration, but be warned that if you are travelling as a single person and there aren't enough single seats, you could end up alongside someone else in the joint seats, which means climbing over them at night to get out of the seat. While it's quiet at the start of the trip, it's a perfect time to check out the economy seating found in cars E, F and G. It's a 2x2 configuration, besides the last two rows which is a 1x1. Each economy seat has a USB, Australian power socket, a slight recline, an overhead storage, a small screen for the onboard entertainment, and a fold down table plus your footrest.
We're coming into a place called Tully, and this allows us to get off the train onto the platform and have a few moments of getting some fresh air. So I'm going to take that opportunity and get off this train, get some fresh air and get back on board before it takes off. Otherwise I'm going to be stuck in the middle of absolutely nowhere in Queensland. Doesn't sound fun, but let's now get off this train, have a quick comfort stop. We arrive in Tully, so a nice little stop to get out, get some fresh air. It's not as warm as what it was in Cairns. Bit overcast, but we are now in Tully. We are also just on 3 hours into the trip. So 3 hours into the trip here, and so far so good. And it's time to jump back on board and head towards Townsville. Between now and Townsville there may be 1 or 2 more stops, I think. Lunch will be served in just over 40 minutes, so looking forward to some lunch. And let's just relax this afternoon, keep looking out the window and watch a few movies, I think, on the old YouTube that we've downloaded. This is Tully Station. The ferns are incredible. A little botanic garden here on the platform itself. That's the station. It's spectacular. All right, let's jump back on board. It's nice to get some fresh air as we head now back into the railbed car and take our seat back on the train.
Lunch has been served. Food and drinks are complimentary with the railbed. So for lunch, so we got the chicken and the pudding and some Coke on the side. It is lunchtime. So what this tastes like. Wearing white. Let's not try and make a mess of ourselves. We can't even get it open. There we go. Right. We're gonna make a mess. Let's make a mess on what next slide. Oh, that's delicious. The pudding.
So we've just left Townsville and it's got quite full on the train. The Railbeds area is absolutely jam-packed full now, so I'll try and limit the recording and talking I'm doing in that section, but I'm just in the vestibule between the food carriage and the Railbeds. The environment's changed quite a bit. We're now more of an arid kind of environment out there looking out of the window. We've left the cane fields and the banana fields in the background of the other side of Townsville, now hit more of the arid landscape. We're now motoring towards Brisbane. We're coming up to 3 o'clock Queensland time, which is about 6 hours into this trip. I am starting to get a little bit more tired now. It is very relaxing. It's been very slow up until this point. It's moving a little quicker now. We've still got dinner to have. We've got the night time to have as well. So as the journey goes on, I'll fill you in and let you know how we're going. But at the moment, it's more aridness outside than what we've seen for the last couple of days in far north Queensland. To give you an idea of the speed of this train, we left Townsville around about 2 hours ago and have only travelled 115 kilometres in that time. To say it's slow going is an understatement. The last 2 hours have really dragged on this train. Hopefully we start to pick up some speed now, but it is a long journey down this east coast of Queensland as we head to Brisbane. So how's the journey going so far? Well, I just thought I'd Google and see the time difference between Townsville and where we've come to here to stop for a little bit of a leg break, and it's around about a 2.5 hour drive, or on the train it's a 4 hour journey. It is slow. The track does get better between here and Rockhampton and beyond, so hopefully it feels a bit quicker. Good news is, it is extremely quiet on the carriage. It is comfortable, it is cool, it's quite nice outside at the moment, so to get some fresh air, it's actually really nice to be out here getting some fresh air and enjoying the sound a few birds in the distance making some noise, which is nice. Overall, look, it's comfortable. I'll see how I look in a few hours. We now make our way to Rockhampton. Dinner will be served when we get back onto the train, and I'll just sit back and enjoy this ride. But I think it's now time for me to get back on the train now, so let's get back on. Car seat with the emu, by the way. So allocated throughout the train is different animals. There's a koala on the carriage there as well to go into the car, into the food area. Let's head back to the seat and see how the evening goes. It's now time for dinner. We've just left the station. The sunset's setting. It is absolutely gorgeous out there at the moment. Thank you, Art. Thank you. Pork, your apple crumble, bread roll, and a little bit of salad on the side. Let's get into this. Dinner time. Drink to that. Cheers. Whilst we're having dinner there, an SMS came through and we're 41 minutes delayed as night is setting across Queensland at the moment. We're on our way to Rockhampton is the next stop, and then it's overnight down to Brisbane. In the next hour or two, the seats where we're sitting will get made into the actual bed. That'll be made by the staff on board, so they'll come through and inform us that it's time to create the bed. So Mackay actually marks the 12-hour mark of this journey. 12 hours ago, we were leaving Cairns early bright on a Monday morning, and it is now 7:40 in the evening, and we've made it to Mackay 12 hours in to this 26.5 hour journey. And don't forget, we're 41 minutes delayed. So we're almost a full hour delayed now, which is just going to extend this journey even more. So there is plenty of train travel left on this journey. You kind of think you're halfway there, 12 hours into a 24-hour trip, but there's plenty more to go. I need to jump back on this train. I do not need this leaving without me. 7:40, 12 hours done, plenty to go. The bed is now made up. You see it's massive.
legs don't even touch the end. It's not even near the end down there. Such a massive bed. Plenty of room. And a little cocoon down this end. If I flick the camera around, we'll have a look at the cocoon I'm in down this end. Where the head is, I'm in a very much little cocoon area. So there's the roof of the chair is there, but it's actually quite soft and comfortable. You are laying in the direction of the train. So similar to my Journey Beyond train I did 2 years ago. Videos, of course, in my channel. A little cocoon. The hat's staying on to try and block some light out from the rest of the carriage at the moment as well, which I'm going to turn off my reading light in just a minute. So for me, that's the end of the night. The carriage is done. I'll flick around and show you that in a second, but at the end of the night now, it's now trying to get some sleep. There is the rumble of the train at the moment. I don't know how this is going to go. Normally on a train, I'm in a little cabin. It's an open cabin. What an experience this is. This is the Railbed on Spirit of Queensland. It is now time to bed, so it's a good night from me. I'll see you in the morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We do hope you had a lovely sleep last night. Folks, for your information, we just departed Bundaberg Station. Our service is currently running 2 hours and 35 minutes. Again, that's 2 hours and 35 minutes behind schedule. I do apologise for this late running and for any inconvenience that it makes.
So we're 2.5 hours delayed. 11:30 is the time due into Brisbane now. Morning has risen, the bed's up. It's sunny outside, which is good. At least it's not raining at the moment. Hopefully it doesn't. There's a lot of water out there. Just wait for breakfast, and then from there, sit back. Not much else we can do. Coffee, thank you.
Yeah,
white and one.
White and one.
A white and two actually this morning.
Yep.
So it's now time to dig in, have some breakfast, and then it's just going to be sit back and inch closer to Brisbane. I think inch is the word there, because it's not going to be doing it quickly as we're slowing down again. So we're making up just a bit of time at the moment, hopefully. We make up a little bit more time as we make our way to Brisbane. Breakfast has been done, picked up. It's now literally sitting back. We're 20 to 8. Still 4 hours to go. I'm going to sit back, watch some YouTube, check in later.
Folks, we will have 5 minutes here at Gympie North. If you would like to step off onto the platform and stretch your legs, please.
We get off the train here at Gympie North. We've got 5 minutes. It's nice to actually get back outside after what's been an eventful morning on the train. We've had another 25-minute stop just up the line. Train went off. Guards running up and down the train. Looked like they were Usain Bolt actually at one stage, the speed they were going, which is pretty much faster than what the train's been going this morning. But we are now in Gympie North for 5 minutes before we need to jump back on and head into Brisbane. So we now hit suburban Brisbane, which is nice. But we've just hit the 25-hour mark and we've still got 4 hours to go. So it's going to be somewhere between 28 hours and 29 hours on this trip. Originally, we should have been about 30 minutes out from Brisbane. I forgot where we were going then. We were supposed to be 30 minutes out from Brisbane. We are now still a long way out from Brisbane. But the weather's nice, the air is clear, and we're in Gympie North, which a suburban station in Brisbane. How did I sleep? Slept quite well last night, which was good, surprisingly, and I'll show you that on screen now from the little watch sleep there, how we slept last night. So I had a decent chunk of sleep for about 2.5 hours and then on and off throughout. I did wake up at one stage to see a high vis whiz past my seat as the first breakdown of the night happened. But overall, it was a reasonably good night's sleep, which I was happy with. Woke at about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then stirred for the last hour. So comfortable. There was so much room. It was actually surprising how much room that bed was. It was very comfortable, very nice on the bed itself, and quiet. So the little head area where the head sits is a very soundproof little area, so I didn't hear too much snoring, which was pretty much the biggest fear of the night, was going, how many people are actually going to be snoring? But it was very quiet indeed, so that was good. So overall, cracking night's sleep. Food-wise, as I mentioned last night, premium and economy level food, which is okay. And the customer service has been good as well. It's time for me to get back on board. We're in Gympie North. We've just hit 25 hours on the train, so it is nice to actually see some fresh air and clear blue skies above me. But now let's get back on the Spirit of Queensland as we make our final venture into Brisbane. And that final venture into Brisbane is going to take 3 to 4 hours.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The next stop for our Spirit of Queensland service will be Nambour. For those customers travelling further south with us, our service is still currently running 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's 2 hours and 20 minutes behind schedule.
Kabucha, I think is the station's name. It means we've got one stop left, about an hour left to travel on the train. It's been hour 27, I think. If it's 10:40, let's just check. Yeah, 10:40. So that's been 27 hours on the train with an hour left. So it'll be about a 28-hour train ride into Brisbane from Cairns on the Spirit of Queensland. This is the final stop for the Brisbane one. It's been a long old day. Now on the very outskirts of Brisbane. We're getting very close now. Should be in around about half an hour. Fingers are crossed. There's another train I need to get to the airport. Leaves at 11:42. So this needs to get in. I then need to get across the platforms to get onto the airport train to get to the airport. That's not another video, but let's see how this goes. We're edging ourselves closer and closer to Brisbane. It is so close now. 27 and a half hours in. Whew, it's been a long one.
Queensland Rail would like to finally welcome customers to Brisbane. Our Spirit of Queensland service will shortly be arriving at Roma Street Platform 10. The platform here at Roma Street will be on the left-hand side in our direction of travel.
And Brisbane City, we've arrived after 27 hours and 52 minutes. The train is pulling into Roma Street Station here in the heart of Brisbane, the capital of Queensland. We've travelled from far north Queensland all the way down to southeast Queensland on the Spirit of Queensland. Plenty of Queensland's there. And that is a future Olympic city, Brisbane. After 27 hours, we've made it to Brisbane. That is the Spirit of Queensland. We've arrived here in Roma Street. We've now got a couple of minutes to get down to platform 7, so I'm not going to wait around here. There is one thing I didn't mention, they do luggage, so you can get your luggage off board as well. So also wait for the airport train to come in, which is about 5 minutes away. Let's talk about the Spirit of Queensland. We left yesterday morning, Monday morning, at 7:40, and we arrived Tuesday morning at 11:32. So a long 27 hours and 52 minutes to get from Cairns down to Brisbane. Was delayed by 2.5 hours due to technical errors with the train. where we were delayed. But let's talk about the bed itself and the train itself now. The Railbed. Would I do a Railbed again? Probably not. I actually prefer to be in a normal cabin on a train than being in a Railbed. You're in an open carriage. You're thinking, you can hear every fart and every sneeze and every cough, every conversation. So if a couple wakes up at 4 a.m, they're having a conversation, and there's the care factor on the rest of the train you've got to take into effect. So do I like that personal space of being in an actual cabin on a train, sleeping? Absolutely. Would I do a Railbed again? Probably not. This is not my train. This is off to Fern Grove, sorry, which is great. So, would I do a Railbed train again? Probably not. Give me a cabin any day of the week. I like that, the quietness in that cabin where you can actually do your own thing and have a little bit more. Yes, it's isolation, but at the same time, you can fart and sneeze the house down in a cabin. In an open carriage, you can't. It felt also very much like travelling on a bus, except you had a Railbed as well. So there's advantages and disadvantages, but I actually prefer a rail cabin than a Railbed. So saying all that, was the bed comfortable? Yes, it was comfortable. It was very comfortable. My sleep was good. I had a good deep sleep of about 2.5 hours in the middle of the night, which is normal. And then you had those little on and off spurts throughout the night as well. So was it a comfortable bed? Massive tick. Yes, it was. The service on board, absolutely brilliant. Can't falter the service. Friendly, kept us informed the whole trip in terms of the delays, in terms of what was next. The food was, as I said, the breakfast was the normal cornflakes. You give that a pass mark of a 5 out of 5. Oh, sorry, 5 out of 10. The food last night, 8.7. Beef was good. The roast was nice. The apple crumble made it, but in terms of an economy kind of meal, that passes the grade, 8.7. Was it first class? Absolutely not. Next train coming in, Northgate. Still not my train to the airport. Saying that, overall, great experience. Tick that box, glad I did it. Could not do it if it wasn't for a Railbed. I don't think I could do it in those seats. I know I said leave a comment below if you think I should try that. 25 hours in a non-Railbed in an actual seat would be torture. But hey, look, I'm glad I did it the Railbed. I'm glad I did the train. Until the next video, don't forget to subscribe, like and comment. Please leave me comments what you thought about today's video, and would you do it? Would you do a Railbed for 27 hours travelling the coast of Queensland from the top to the bottom on Queensland Rail? Until the next video, guys, thank you so much for watching me, and I will see you somewhere travelling on the next one.